relatives, welcome to this week's Schlagbite for the week September 30th, 2013, entitled Psychiatry Grand Rounds. I had the privilege of speaking to Grand Rounds at the Department of Psychiatry at the University of Arizona Medical School in Tucson. Every clinical department has these weekly gatherings where invited guests present the current state of their specialty. Most presentations in psychiatry rounds feature cutting-edge brain research, but on occasion a more soulful presentation is invited, and I love to talk to young psychiatrists and other mental health professionals about my transcultural experiences and the magic, mystery, and spirit of mind healing. Not minimizing the great advances we've made in understanding the brain, I suggested that no matter how much we knew about it, that the mind has a mind of its own. It's like appreciating a great painting. You can divide the masterpiece into small sections and analyze each of its content and color and brushstroke and composition, but when you add them all up, the big picture always exceeds the sum of its parts. With all the research that's been done, there is no definitive biological explanations for most mental illnesses. Still, we attribute our successes and failures to picking the right drug for the offending symptom, and we generally minimize the importance of making heartfelt connections with people. And we are increasingly distancing ourselves from our patients. We see 4 people in an hour, each of them for 15-minute med checks nowadays. And as a profession, we're creating more and more mental illnesses, prescribing more and more drugs. The fact is that 25% of all Americans are now diagnosed with a mental illness. And with the recent publication of the DSM-5, with all of its additional diagnoses, we're soon going to see 50% of the population with a diagnosable mental illness. As a profession, we are perpetuating the myth that if you're not feeling good, wonderful in every moment, that you could be suffering from a mental illness, for which, of course, there's a drug that can help you. Defining the ordinary ups and downs of life as psychopathology, for which drugs are the answer, is ridiculous. We would eliminate 90% of the mental illness in this country if we prohibited direct-to-consumer advertising by pharmaceutical companies. And we would maximize our healing power by spending more time listening to patients and making heartfelt connections. I shared my recent clown trip to Peru with Patch Adams that I've described before in the mental health clinics that we conducted in the streets, and how we connected with people at a soul level, even in just 20 minutes. You can help people see the familiar with new eyes. And in closing, I told the audience that I was hoping to bring this model to the streets of America. And when it was over, some of the attendees came up to me and said they'd like to participate in the street clinics with me. It made me proud to be a psychiatrist. Have a great week. Reach out and touch somebody lovingly. It's how we stay connected and survive in the ups and downs. For those of you who are interested in a healing experience, be sure to consider coming to a workshop I'm doing with Mona Palaka, one of the 13 Indigenous grandmothers, in November. Check it out at the website at healingdoc.com. Have a great week. I say this for all my relations. Mitakuye.